Sophie Cunningham's response to all this, in terms of her tweets, like, if you guys didn't see Sophie Cunningham's retweets, Sophie Cunningham obviously responded with the shrug Instagram post, but has responded to the petition by just retweeting a freaking post about her jerseys being sold out. That is a response. That is quote tweeting the petition. Like, that is the best way of going about it.
They tried to cancel her. They launched petitions, hurled accusations, and expected silence. Instead, Sophie Cunningham, the WNBA's new anti-hero, turned their outrage into pure comedy gold, blessing their attempts to ban her with a retweet of her own sold-out jersey. What was meant to be a takedown became her coronation, revealing a truth about the WNBA no one expected. The league's biggest star is unprotected. And it took one defiant teammate to spark a revolution. For years, the WNBA has steadily built its foundation, growing viewership and passionate fans. But then Caitlin Clark arrived and everything changed. She's not just a player, she's a phenomenon. Her impact on the league is nothing short of revolutionary, shattering attendance records and drawing unprecedented attention. We're talking about a player who boosts WNBA road game attendance by a staggering 87%, accounting for over 1/3 of the entire season's total attendance. Her games alone have drawn over 200,000 fans, dwarfing non-Clark games. Major markets like Seattle, Los Angeles, and Washington have seen attendance increases of over 100% just because Clark was in town. She is quite literally the league's golden goose. But this golden goose has been under constant assault. What we've witnessed isn't just aggressive play, it's a disturbing pattern of targeted harassment. For anyone watching, it's felt like open season on Caitlin Clark. She's been poked in the eye, aggressively shoved to the ground, hip-checked, and subjected to flagrant fouls that, by any reasonable standard, should result in immediate ejections. Rebecca Lobo, a veteran analyst who's studied WNBA rookies for 27 seasons, has emphatically stated that Clark is being played and defended differently than any other rookie in league history. This isn't just opinion, it's documented fact. The breaking point arrived during that explosive Tuesday night game against the Connecticut Sun. It was a raw, visceral demonstration of everything fans had been complaining about. We saw Clark get poked in the eye by J.C. Sheldon. While she was still reeling from the injury, Marina Mabrey came in and shoved her to the ground. It was blatant, aggressive, and frankly, disturbing. And what happened next was beyond belief. The referees somehow managed to assess Caitlin Clark with a technical foul for unsportsmanlike conduct. Let that sink in. The victim of multiple aggressions gets penalized, while her attackers face minimal consequences. It felt like the entire system had turned a blind eye, leaving Clark vulnerable. But this time, something truly different happened. This time, Caitlin Clark had an enforcer. Enter Sophie Cunningham. Known for her tenacious play and fiery spirit, Sophie had been watching this pattern repeat itself game after game. She had seen the systematic abuse, the uncalled fouls, the blatant disregard for Clark's safety. And during that Sun game, she decided enough was enough, with just 46 seconds left on the clock. As Sheldon made a steal and headed for what should have been an easy layup, Cunningham delivered a message that resonated far beyond the confines of Gainbridge Fieldhouse. She stepped in, delivering a hard foul that was clearly designed to send a message. It wasn't just about stopping a layup. It was a thunderous declaration that Caitlin Clark would not be a human punching bag any longer. It was a moment of pure, unadulterated protection. The response was immediate and explosive. What happened next was unprecedented in recent WNBA history. Within 24 hours, Sophie Cunningham's TikTok following soared from under 400,000 to over 1.2 million. Her Instagram followers surged by more than 700,000. Fans weren't just supporting her, they were celebrating her. They dubbed her the Enforcer, the Queen, and within days, her jerseys were completely sold out. This wasn't just viral fame. It was a cultural moment that revealed how desperate fans were for someone, anyone, to finally stand up for Caitlin Clark. And in a development that truly speaks volumes, Sophie Cunningham's jersey sales surpassed Caitlin Clark's, making hers the #1 selling jersey in the entire WNBA. This was the roar of a revolution when Sophie Cunningham finally addressed the media. Her words cut through the diplomatic nonsense like a knife through butter. She was clear, direct, and unapologetic. "I'm going to protect my teammates. That's what I do," she declared. Her stance was not just about that one game. It was about the systematic failure of officiating that had gone on for a couple years now. She articulated the frustration that so many fans and players felt, emphasizing the need for proper officiating, for flagrant fouls to be called, for players to be ejected when they cross the line. She wasn't asking for special treatment for Clark, but for fair, consistent officiating for everyone. Her defiance didn't stop there. When a petition emerged, calling to ban Sophie Cunningham like she was some kind of Marvel villain, her response was pure comedy gold. She saw the petition, laughed mid-lunge, and retweeted it like it was fan mail. Her response wasn't an apology. It was a highlight reel with extra sauce, a mic drop so loud it echoed through the WNBA. She blessed it like a royal decree from the Queen of Pettyland. A digital equivalent of cracking her knuckles and saying, "Let's dance." Sophie Cunningham doesn't fold. She thrives off the drama, retaliates with tempo, fire, and a perfectly placed side-eye. She stood on business, making it clear that if you mess with her teammates, she's going full medieval. This situation has starkly exposed a glaring double standard in officiating. When Fever players get physical, passionate, gritty, it's just called basketball. But when Sophie Cunningham so much as raises a brow or clears space with her shoulder, suddenly it's a felony, a crisis, a petition-worthy moment. We saw this hypocrisy play out just moments before her intervention. J.C. Sheldon came in with the energy of someone trying to bulldoze a brick wall, launching her shoulder into Sophie. And Sophie, she took the hit, blinked once, and responded, the way any self-respecting enforcer does. Then there was Mayberry, poking Sophie in the eye with the delicacy of someone trying to perform laser surgery blindfolded. And still, from the referees, nothing. These glorified traffic cones in stripes stood there blinking like deer who just realized the headlights were the rulebook they forgot to read. It's not just incompetence, it's a chilling, selective incompetence. The WNBA's response to this crisis has been, frankly, disgraceful. Instead of addressing the systematic targeting of their biggest star and the clear double standards, they've chosen to fine Sophie Cunningham for finally standing up to the bullies. The league imposed an additional fine on Cunningham beyond the standard penalty for a flagrant foul, essentially punishing her for doing what their referees refused to do: protect Caitlin Clark. While the league itself later admitted that officials lost control of the Connecticut Sun game, damning indictment of their officiating standards, no meaningful changes have been implemented to protect Clark or hold officials accountable. Commissioner Engelbert's rhetoric about upholding the highest standards rings hollow given her clear inaction, highlighting a stark disconnect between the league's words and its deeds. Their magical post-game upgrade of fouls is the sports equivalent of sending thoughts and prayers after a house fire you started. It does nothing. Let's talk about the sheer stupidity of the WNBA's approach from a business perspective. Caitlin Clark has generated more interest, attendance, and revenue for women's basketball than any player in the sport's history. When you have a player who can single-handedly transform your league's fortunes, you don't allow her to be systematically abused by jealous competitors and incompetent officials. You protect her, promote her, and build your entire organization around her success. Anything less is a catastrophic business blunder. It's like owning the goose that lays golden eggs and then allowing it to be strangled. The groundswell of support for Sophie Cunningham's action has revealed just how deep the frustration runs among WNBA fans. Petition campaigns demanding referee accountability have gained hundreds of thousands of signatures, with fans no longer willing to accept the status quo. The message is clear. Either the WNBA fixes its referee problem, or fans will continue to demand more drastic action. What's particularly striking is how fans have embraced Cunningham as an anti-hero, while simultaneously losing faith in the league itself. When respected voices in sports media are calling for serious consequences for officials due to systematic negligence, it's clear the situation has reached a breaking point. The WNBA can no longer dismiss these concerns as mere fan overreaction or media sensationalism. The growing frustration has even led to a radical idea. What if Caitlin Clark, the undisputed draw for women's basketball, didn't need the WNBA at all? This isn't just idle talk. It's born from the desperate sentiment that the league isn't protecting its most valuable asset. The audience, they say, would follow Caitlin Clark wherever she goes, to different cities, different venues, different television networks. While the WNBA continues to allow its star player to be targeted and abused, other organizations could easily position themselves to offer her the protection and respect she deserves. It's a sobering thought, but one that highlights how precarious the WNBA's position truly is if they continue down this path. And it's not just the fans. The players themselves are keenly aware of the league's shortcomings and the value they bring. As Sophie Cunningham articulated, the players have been grinding to grow the game, and they deserve a fair share of the business they've built. The current system, especially regarding officiating consistency and player safety, is simply unsustainable. Players are speaking out. Coaches are privately admitting that officiating needs to get better and be more consistent. This isn't just about Caitlin Clark. It's about the integrity of the game and the future of the league. The clock is ticking. We're heading into All-Star break, and the WNBA has a crucial decision to make. They can continue to find players who protect their teammates while ignoring the systematic targeting of their biggest star. Or they can finally implement the changes that everyone knows are necessary. The choice is theirs, but the consequences of inaction are becoming clearer every single day. The league needs Clark far more than she needs them. And that dynamic is becoming painfully obvious. The WNBA now stands at a crossroads. The choice: is Stark continue down this path, penalizing heroes and ignoring systemic issues, or finally listen to the undeniable roar of the fans and players like Sophie Cunningham? Protect your golden goose, invest in your future, and uphold the integrity of the game. Because if they don't, the revolution that Sophie Cunningham ignited, fueled by her unapologetic power and a fan base demanding true accountability, might just decide to build its own kingdom elsewhere. What do you think needs to happen to fix this? Let me know in the comments below. And if this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the untold narratives that shape our world.